Today I'm going to be showing you guys my main guitar setup and rig, how I play, my my type of sound that I like. Yeah, just 101 of my guitar experience. I have more than just this guitar, but this is my main guitar. This is my Jackson Flying V. As you can see, there's not a top pickup in that. I would like to swap out my top pickup because I just recently had to take the top pickup out because it was broken. And I want to get like a Sustainiac, which basically holds out the note forever as long as you're holding the correct fret that you want, right? Um, Also, the bottom pickup is just my main pickup, obviously, because I play a lot of metal type of stuff, and I like that more punchy tone. For the most part, these tuners always stay in tune for me. Obviously, it's not a locking tuner or anything. I do want to get locking tuners, put them on this guitar, but right now, you know, they're good. They rarely go out of tune, and if they do, most of the time it's because, when I put it on the rack, sometimes the tuning pegs will get knocked off the wall, and that's kind of how it goes out of tune. But other than that, I rarely have experiences where it's really that noticeable out of tune. Yeah. Normally, I have both knobs cranked on this. Obviously, there's no Floyd Rose or any whammy tremolo bar system at all. Would I like one? Yes, but I would rather buy a pedal so that I could use it on all my guitars. Um, yeah, normally I have both of these knobs cranked, bottom pickup. I don't really use the top or the middle much, if not ever. So I'll get like what I want to get is a EMG. I'll put it down here and then I'll put the Sustainiac up here. So then I can have more of a like just better tone overall. Don't get me wrong, this is a great guitar, but I'd like to make it more personal with stuff like the locking tuners or a Floyd Rose. I don't necessarily know how I'd go about that, but I'd figure it out. um, yeah, but for now we're rocking no top pickup. I'll show you guys how this plays in the next video. As for my pedals, I don't necessarily like to cheap out, but I like to save money where I can. You can kind of tell by the pedal board. Right now I'm rocking these four main pedals. I would like to get more in the future, but for the light gigging that I do here and there, and then just like playing, this works, right? So obviously I have the wah pedal right here. It's off-brand, but it works about the same. This was about $30. Same thing with this Chinese off-brand tube screamer. If I'm not mistaken, this is a Joyo. It's mini screamer, but it's based off of a tube screamer. But these two are on brand. This is a DS1 distortion. One of my favorites of all time. This retails for about 80. And this is a Stag Black X metal distortion. Very good pedal. One of the best distortion pedals I've ever used. Even though it's small and it doesn't take a 9 volt, don't get me wrong, this is like crazy good. As for settings, I have on my overdrive, I have my drive at about a 3, my tone at about a 3, and my level at a 10. My DS1 distortion, my tone normally stays at about a 5. My distortion somewhere in between a 6 and a 8. Honestly, depends on the day, and then the level is cranked to the max. And then my Stag is what I like about this pedal is, whoops, if I don't get caught on my microphone. right? This little switch right here might not seem like a lot, but basically what that does is it boosts the highs or the lows. I normally keep it to a low boost, especially when I'm playing more metalcore, stuff like that, where it's more chugs and riffs, especially those 578 riffs, you know, Unholy Confessions, not the American Average, stuff like that. So I like to keep it on the low boost. My The distortion level isn't really that high. It's at about a 4.5 out of 10 because I feel like that in tandem with the overdrive works better than, cranking the distortion and losing, a lot of the sound with that. As for the volume, I keep that at like a 6, and the tone is at about a 3.54 ish range. Don't get me wrong, I could have spent less on these two, but they're worth every penny in my book. These I do want to get, the on-brand versions, see how they play in my experience, because I've played on people's rigs that have, the on-brand Crybaby Wah or the Ibanez Tube Screamers. I just can't really tell a difference in my personal experience. Maybe I'm mistaken. Maybe it's the best thing ever, but for me, not really that much of a tonal difference. I want to definitely get more pedals in the future. Maybe something like a overdrive. I mean, like a delay, a pitch shifter, whammy pedal, stuff like that. But for now, this is good, right? I don't necessarily need more. This might not look like an amp, but this is technically an amp. This is just like a little clip on thing for like your phone, computer, whatever. Plug the guitar in right here, plug some headphones in here, plug a USB-C in here, and then you can run amp sims on your phone, whatever. Play along with the songs. I don't use this much. I just like to have it, just in case. Because you don't even necessarily have to have, the phone. You just plug this in, right? And then you can plug in some headphones and just jam straight off that. So I don't want to be lugging around my amp with me. I can just bring a set of headphones, and then plug this in to like an outlet. And then I can still jam out. Clean tone, or it even works with pedals, obviously. So this is just like a supplemental thing. Obviously, it's not really that big. It's like, Jesus. This is it in the palm of my hand. It's not really too huge. But it's just nice to have. See, it clips on, like, for example, you can clip it on, like, your belt or whatever. Yeah, I just like to keep this around, though. Just in case, I want to play when it's not really a good time to be playing, or I don't want to lug around my amp. This is my main amp. This is a Fender Frontman 20G. Not necessarily the biggest amp. It's about the size of my upper chest. Don't get me wrong. This is not a crazy expensive, super amazing amp by any means, but it definitely gets the job done for the price. 150%. If you're looking to save some money, get this. This is 150% a good pickup. It's got a built-in overdriven channel that you select with that little button right there. Normally, I just play on the clean channel. You got the bass, mids, treble, and then you have your drive selector. I rarely, if ever, use this because I don't use the built-in amp settings. Only reason why is because when I play songs, I like to be able to switch between them. So say a song has a clean riff and then a distortion riff or a overdriven riff, I want to be able to play that at the same time. With this, I can't really hit it with my foot. Yeah, I could get a foot switch, but at that point, just get a pedal, right? But yeah, overall, this is a crazy good amp for the price. You have an aux in, so you can play along, whatever. I don't really use this too much. Because when I'm playing to a backing track, I'll have like headphones on or whatever, and I'll play it with that. So I don't really use this function, but it does have built-in aux out for headphones. That's a godsend. So I don't have to use, this thing all the time. Like if I really want to practice and it's quiet, I can still get that amp tone because, you plug your pedal straight into this, it doesn't sound the same as the amp. And I just love this thing to death. This was like my first really nice amp. I've had this thing for about 2.5 or 3 years. I've had amps before this, but they were small in comparison. Like just cheapo beginner amps. This thing, not the craziest thing ever, but it gets the job done, and it's crazy good for the price. Like, if you're looking to start playing guitar, this is what you want to buy. Anyway, if you guys enjoyed this video, please drop a like, comment, subscribe. And stay tuned for the next one. I hope to have some music, at least covers, come out soon. I want to do a Clairvoyant Disease play along tab video come out in the next 2.5-3 weeks time frame. So stay tuned for that. And then stay tuned for more guitar videos. I'll be posting a lot of that stuff.